Hi, we are Paula, Maffer, and me, Hermione, and for a partial project we choose to answer the question, how is human trafficking different from migrant smuggling?
How is human trafficking different from migrant smuggling? Well, there are many differences between these two concepts, but in this video we'll be mentioning the main four: consent, the ending point, transnationality, and the source of profits. But first, we need to know what human trafficking and migrant smuggling are.
Migrant smuggling. According to the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, or UNODC, migrant smuggling is a crime that involves the illegal entry of people into a country where the person does not reside in return for money or material benefits. As for human trafficking, Blue Campaign states that it is a crime that violates human rights, as it could be considered the modern-day slavery, since it involves forcing people to work. These two sources explain that both human trafficking and migrant smuggling share similarities and may overlap in some respects, but this does not mean that they should be considered as the same because of the following aspects.
First aspect, the UNODC and the Blue Campaign mentioned that migrant smuggling involves consent, which means that migrants give permission to their smuggler to take the necessary actions in order to help them survive. This is because migrant smuggling requires going through dangerous and degrading situations. On the contrary, human trafficking is considered a type of modern-day slavery, since victims are forced to work under terrible circumstances affecting their physical and emotional aspects. Second aspect, UNODC and the Blue Campaign clarified that migrant smuggling had a clear ending point. For example, in a typical situation where the people migrate from Mexico to the United States, after arriving at the place or estate plan, the hired smuggler will release them and they may never see each other again. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said of human trafficking, because it does not have a clear end, and the traffickers will exploit the victim for as long as the traffickers want.
Third aspect. Human trafficking may involve both taking the victims to another country or letting them stay in their own, contrary to migrant smuggling, that is always transnational and there must be a change in country. Fourth aspect. The fourth and final aspect is that money made from both human trafficking and migrant smuggling does not come from the same activities. For example, the source of profits made from migrant smuggling comes from the illegal entry of the person to another country, but in human trafficking, profits come from the exploitation of the victim.
In conclusion, human trafficking and migrant smuggling are different crimes with particular aspects. They can easily get mixed up by non-experts and experts too, making researchers harder and lengthier.
Soy Hermione y aquí estoy contra la trata de personas.
Soy Paola y aquí estoy contra la trata de personas.
Yo soy Maffer y aquí estoy contra la trata de personas.